And welcome back to the Daily Wrap. It's that time again, yay or nay. First up, a federal appeals court ruled in the Obama administration's favor today on the issue of the NSA spying program. What this means is that the government can continue to collect phone data on hundreds of millions of Americans until the program expires at the end of November. So guys, I guess the question is, was this appellate court right in extending this for just a couple more months? Jonathan?
I think it needs to be extended so it can look at what's going to happen as it's pulled away. I mean, but here's the reality. All your information is collected, all of it. It's just a matter of who's holding on to it, and do we have to ask them to look at it. So that's the whole reality of this.
Heather?
It's such an interesting decision that it takes more time than we have here. But it's an issue that they couldn't prove that it was their data being collected because the government won't tell you whose data is being collected.
Oh, so the
you're
people
never
bringing the lawsuit couldn't show that they had standing.
Right. But who's going to?
Right.
If the government will never tell you whose data is being collected. So it's a big cycle no one's ever going to win. And so we're
Don't you love this law?
Big catch-22. Big catch-22. Then they wonder why the people are flooding to Trump, right?
That's right.
No matter what happens, the system is rigged.
Yeah, that's a little crazy, I got to agree. Louisiana Governor and presidential hopeful Bobby Jindal wrote a letter to President Obama asking him not to bring up global warming when he visits New Orleans for the 10th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. Governor Jindal tells the president that this week should be about mourning those lost in the storm and celebrating the recovery of the city of New Orleans and the recovery it's made so far, and not pushing a political agenda. The White House has not yet responded to the governor's letter, but White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest says climate change is one of the many topics the president plans to discuss during his visit. Well, I mean, we can talk about whether the governor has the authority to dictate a president's talking points, but I think I know the answer to that. So the better question is the governor out of line, Heather Hansen, in doing that?
I think that he has the right to ask, and I think that he's also using this to get some publicity for his own campaign because there's not been a lot of publicity for him.
Political stunt, Tom Borelli, yes or no?
I think he was taking advantage of the opportunity of the president coming to his home state, but you know, a request is fine. He's not ordering the president because obviously, as you mentioned, that would be ridiculous, but you know, I think it's fair for him to make that point.
I agree. I don't think there's so much more that you can say.
You're all wrong. It was ridiculous to do something like that. You know, he should be careful because he doesn't know when another hurricane is coming, and he may be very dependent on this president to give him the aid that he needs.
But that should not influence the president's decision to give him
the
aid.
It doesn't hurt to keep relationships good. I know. Finally tonight, did you know that Donald Trump made an Oreo commercial back in 2009? Of course he did. Let's take a look.
Gentlemen, Oreo has rejected my bid to buy the DSRL, so we lick race for it right here with double stuffed gold.
Mr. Trump, my brother and I are the defending champions. Let's be honest, you don't even have a partner.
No, I've got a partner.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Me? No way. It's
Double Trump.
And we're going to be huge.
Let's get this party started.
Yeah, well, the party's over on that now that the Donald has promised that he will never eat Oreos again if the company follows through with their decision to close one of their plants in Chicago and open one in Mexico. That's a pretty hard stance. So this must mean that all of Trump products are made in America, right, Tom Borelli?
No, who knows about that? But full disclosure, I used to work for Kraft that makes Oreo cookies, and I was actually in that facility. But the really sad truth about this move to Mexico is the reason why they did it is sugar costs twice as much because of a subsidy here in the United States.
Right.
That's where the focus should be.
Heather?
Listen, I think that we would like to keep all business in America, but I think that Trump needs to pull his pants out of Mexico before he starts talking about Oreos.
What about you, Jonathan? Are you going to, that's right, and Mexico and China, where all of his clothes come from.
Full disclosure, I have a slight addiction to Oreos, but I tell them to forget about it and just stay in America.
See, you're Navy SEALs, addicted to sugar.
Nothing wrong with that.
See? All right, well, my final word on this is he's going overboard with this, obviously. He's not going to, I don't care if he eats Oreos. All right, that's it for tonight. I'm Rick Unger. Thank you, Jonathan, for filling in tonight on such short notice.